Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts, myself, Black Spartan, Show Guy Joe, Tafari TV. Gentlemen, it is the weekend. Finally, how we feeling?
Made it to another Friday. Survived the full moon that's apparently out here.
Yep, definitely that. Joe, how you feeling?
Did nothing but cleaning the garage today, and tomorrow I'm going to the Cherry Blossom Festival. I'm both excited and extremely tired at the same time. There is no middle.
Yep, you got to get up to get down. With that being said, guys, as you can see,
I can get up to the point where I can do the dinosaur, so... And only you and I know what that is, because I don't think Tafara is old enough to know what that dance is.
I feel like I've heard the reference, but never had it fully spelled out.
It's in the Mario Brothers movie, the Bob Hoskins one. The dinosaur where they're in a dance club.
Everybody do the dinosaur.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody do the dinosaur.
The dinosaur.
You know, I know
it was coming.
I feel like Land Before Time took that song and did their own rendition of it.
That's Mother, Where Are You? There's a shark tooth around the corner.
I know I've heard those lyrics before in something else, but I've never actually subjected myself to that original movie. Very much past it in Blockbuster every time, and I was like, something just tells me I should grab the cartoon instead, where Mario is clearly a stoner, but gives you these PSA messages like, hey, don't do drugs or you'll go to hell and you'll die.
Oh, it's always
Captain Lou.
Sonic says that it's so much better.
Captain Lou Obama.
That's not true. Sonic never had Elvira in an episode.
With that being said, we are a little bit older, as you can tell. We do try to watch our language, but words do fly. At the same time, guys, we do play movie trailers and video game trailers that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome.
Sorry, Obi.
Oh yeah, Obi gets all of it.
He's his own world back there.
Oh no, that's Chad.
Oh, that's that.
Yeah. I'm about to say Obi, where'd you see Obi running back here? Because I could have sworn I left him downstairs.
Wrong.
I was gonna say for a second, like, where do you see him? But no. But for all those that are watching, please, thank you. Like I said, been a long week for various reasons, and hopefully the next couple of hours we could be your escape. We can be a little bit fun because the world could use more of it. Starting with a couple of trailers. This one from Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. We seem to be getting a character that's a little bit more on the leveled up side. I don't remember him too much, but Joe, do you remember Hoku Tomorrow?
Yes, he is. And I am doubled.
Okay, so it's not just me.
You're doubled, or you're hearing it?
I was.
I hear Tafara. And now I hear me.
I'm gonna refresh.
Okay.
Now.
I got nothing.
I still hear it.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself. Try your side.
Okay. No, it's on me.
Okay, so we discovered it. It's on Joe.
Is it me? Problem?
No, it's Joe.
No, you're still double.
So Tafara's muted. I'm muted. Yeah, well, we're gonna just.
No, we're doing it for like the opening of the show. Now it's doing it all of a sudden.
I think it stopped.
Refresh.
It stopped. It stopped.
Okay, no. Joe's gonna come back out. You got okay, we're good.
Are you hearing me twice or no?
No, I'm hearing you once.
Okay, well, if it's just in my headphones, that's fine.
Hang on, Joe's coming back. Let's see. Joe?
Nope, still here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
they can't hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of got it blasting on the other side right now. That's the only. I'm not hearing it double.
It's not doubled.
Is it open to tabs? Maybe?
I've muted the video. I've muted the screen tab on my end, and I've made sure I've killed the window that had Kira stream going. So how about now?
This is the only thing I got open.
Same.
It's gone.
Hey, whatever we just did fixed it. Good job. High five.
I'm rolling with it. But
now, where are the adults? Why is nobody even watching?
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah. I wasn't ready for that.
I don't know why he got in here either.
Yeah,
where?
As I was saying,
go ahead, Joe.
Where's Grandma and Grandpa? Go ahead. I'm
Tavara's got to run
on
her.
uncle duty. You guys ignore me.
Oh no, you're good. We got as many times we got kids on this show. Go for it. But go ahead, Joe.
Okay, so Hikaru is Andy Bogart's student and my little brother, not technically related, but from the same ninja clan. Fun facts: in Mark of the Wolves, he was voiced by Naruto's original voice actor. Now that he's older in City of the Wolves, he uses Itadori's voice actor from, and now the dumpling's back again.
Try it now.
Okay. Nope, gone.
Interesting. Keep going.
So we went from the main character of Naruto voicing him to the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen voicing this kid.
This is the sub actors.
Yes, these are the
Okay.
Yes, these are the sub actors.
Okay.
Well, the Japanese actors. So Japanese Naruto.
I was going to say Miley Flanagan get out.
Japanese Itadori.
I'll say Miley Flanagan get out here still getting work. Good for her.
Well, with that being said, this is the trailer for his entry into City of the Wolves on Fatal Fury.
It's here. My ultimate technique. Fatal Fury. City of the Wolves.
All right, so that, guys, was the trailer for Mr. Hokumaru. Entering the City of the Wolves, as you can see, still coming out. Not too far off from that now. I think we'll see. Today's the 11th, 24, 10 days, 13 days away from Fatal Fury City of the Wolves actually become live, especially as you can see now on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam and Epic Games. Does kind of answer that question, Joe, about who's going to be the next to last person. I think we only got one more review.
He is the last person.
Okay, he is the last person. Got it.
So, many things happened this week involving Fatal Fury. They had their big media blitz. They had a lot of pro players come out. Ronaldo and the other guy actually looked really good in the game. Like, gameplay-wise. Like, they actually look really fun and functional.
Wait, Ronaldo as in the football player? As in the football player, Ronaldo?
Yeah, you haven't remember we put in the we put in the group chat. The full-on soccer player is as a playable character.
They're actually gonna. I thought he was just there as a plug-in for something.
No,
but
they will have
they took up 2 character slots.
They'll have iShow Speed come in as an assist on the special.
Oh, that man! You know what? I'm not mad. I'm not mad about him. I'm sorry, John. I mean, cut you off. Say it again.
I said, as long as he gets speared, I don't have a problem with it. But no, some people were really pissed by this because the younger son of Kin Kafwan is not in this game as of right now or Season 1 DLC. We're probably not getting him till Season 2.
Ooh.
So no Kun Jae-hoon.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's a. I'm not saying it's a bold strategy, Kyle, but let's see what works out for him.
So, So Salvador Ganichi and Ronaldo are in the game as fully playable characters, and they are actually viable. There's a chance we may see Ronaldo in a finals match at some point.
I'm
Because
tripping
he
on the
has
fact.
ridiculous high-low mix-ups.
I'm just tripping off the fact we have a DJ Jesus.
What are you talking about? We had that before. It's called Duck King.
I just can't get past that. But it's going to be interesting when it comes out.
It's not
But
DJ Jesus. It's Maximilian dude in a tracksuit. Max even says he's going to go get a tracksuit for when this comes out.
I'm not surprised by that man's level of commitment. I just hope he doesn't do it. But the other gameplay trailer that we do got, Joe wanted Tafara to see this called Haste. I saw it. I pretty much say it's pretty much Sonic under a different name. But Joe, do you have anything else to it?
It is a procedurally generated roguelike running game.
Mm-hmm.
But right, Tafara, you just need to stream this.
Oh, I think I've seen a little bit of it. I thought it was still like in like testing phases. I didn't know this was like out.
Oh, it's definitely out there. Trailer. But yeah. Let's see. You know, I would actually give that a shot. That was the gameplay for a trailer for Haste. As you can see, it's available on Steam right now. I'll be honest, I would probably try it. It reminds me of Knights from Sega Saturn mixed with a little bit of Sonic the Hedgehog. But Tafara, you are a resident Sonic person. Does this make you want to play it or give it a shot?
I mean, yeah, as long as it's like smooth and not like any crazy bugs or you clip into a wall on some Sonic Adventure type behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's like you can repeat the fast action, but it's like you got to have like the colorfulness and like the whole flow. So,
yeah,
it seems nice up front. I'll give it a shot whenever it gets here.
Interesting.
It's out on Steam.
Yeah, it's out on Steam right now. So, if you do have a Steam account, or as I like to say, if you like me, you just want to go ahead and get a Steam Deck or a Rogue Ally, just because it's a lot easier to haul around on your desktop, go for it. But yeah, I plan to give that a shot too, along with some other games on Steam I wanted to look at. But the other trailer we did want to show, guys, this is actually a documentary that's out, not just a goof. Because if you haven't noticed, it's the 30-year anniversary of a Goofy movie, or as we like to call it, the one movie where, you know, we knew it was a black movie. If you haven't seen a Goofy movie by now, I would recommend you go on Disney Plus and go and watch it. But the documentary is about the making of the movies and making of the movie, as well as some things that you may or may not know. Tafara, I know you watched it. Joe, I know you watched it. Before we play this trailer, was there anything that you guys wanted to point out about the documentary?
I was gonna say let it run first. I'll say my commentary, but you can go ahead if you got something.
I just like the little interstitials when they talk about the film, or everyone's a goofy character.
Yeah, they actually. I was surprised they went with the custom animation for this. They didn't just do a bunch of like clip art. They actually like added. So salute to the people that actually mimic that style throughout this whole thing.
All right. Well, for all those who haven't seen it, here is the trailer for the documentary of Not Just a Goof.
I'm going to try to remember back to when all this happened.
This is Kevin Lima, the director of the Goofy movie.
I was a first-time director. I had a first-time head of story, first-time lead editor. I thought we had the opportunity to make a John Hughes movie in animation. Let's make a movie that is about contemporary teenagers, as opposed to what feature animation was doing, which was all talking animal movies and fairy tales. even though these are kind of talking animal movies.
All right, guys, let's do this.
Jeffrey Katzenberg was talking about going on a vacation with his daughter, and they weren't quite getting along, and he thought that might be an interesting subject matter for the story of Goofy and Max.
A father who's worried about his son and where he's going.
I know there were production challenges. We were doing it in a reduced sort of capacity.
When you look back in time at it, there was something, pretty magical about the whole thing.
The magic trick animation is getting you to feel for it.
There is that universal connection that people end up having. You can't ask for more than that.
I would love to have them be moved by who Goofy is and by how he relates to his son.
To adventure!
Disney didn't know what they had.
It was different.
Okay, this is cool.
It was the voice of a generation.
Oh, Dad.
Okay, you can go now. Here, we're gonna do this tricky shot again.
All right, fellas, and that was the trailer for Not Just a Goof, which is the Goof movie documentary. And I'll be honest, I did not know, really and truly, I did not know how much that movie, well, obviously had an impact because I know me, Tafara, and many others, especially us, the others on Blurred's Eye View have also said it. We're still waiting on the Powerline concert. Hell, we're still waiting on the Powerline mixtape, which some lucky people did actually get a Goofy movie media press junket that was complete with boombox, the Powerline studio tour jacket, and the mixtape. I'm not saying I'm jealous, but hey, I am a little bit. But
yesterday, a tweet from Kevin Campbell, two texts he got. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get you canceled if you don't drop that Powerline album, MF. We've been waiting for you, punk ass bitch.
Damn.
He didn't say who said it. He just tweeted that with the laughing emoji. And some of the top comment, I love how we all disagree with the approach, but we fully stand behind the message. And it's Anthony Mackie going, he's out of line, but he's right.
We've been, again, the most two iconic, well, not two, well, three, I guess, 4 songs off the movie are always iconic, but still, not to know that they weren't, the budget wasn't given a lot, and the fact that Disney really didn't really have a lot of faith in this, and then at the same time, we also found out on Blurred's Eye View that, I should say Tafara found this out after a little bit of research. The reason why the movie did not do so well in theaters because it was put up against Bad Boys in the same opening weekend.
Yeah, that's part of what I got from the doc. I didn't realize because I know at the time, I think I was around for Bad Boys 2. I know that was the one where my parents were like, oh, we all got to go see Will and Martin. But I know that first one was Martin was still doing Def Jam and Will was in the height of Fresh Prince.
Yep. That's when around 97, so that's about right. I
guess it's been that bad since Weird Al's UHF came out the same week as Jurassic Park.
And again, UHF, amazing movie if you have not seen it. But still, to go up against Jurassic Park when it first came out, because we did not know about dinosaurs, but we also knew that if you didn't pay the IT guy, that catastrophe would happen. Who knew they would be predicting future events? But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's available on Disney Plus. Again, I can watch a Goofy. There's never a bad time to watch a Goofy movie. It never is. If it's on, more than likely you're sitting there watching it. But
it gives a nice little insight to the industry too, because they basically talked about how I know the head guy got fired, and that's usually when all the current ideas under old regime get scrapped, so that they can now take credit for everything that they do.
Very much.
And I guess they were almost done. So he's like, yeah, it feels like they put it out of obligation versus wanting to actually do it. So they just threw us a date, and of course it ends up being the same day as Bad Boys. Yeah. I think the movie cost $18 million to make. They only made back $28-30, which I guess isn't enough to
call it a profit, right?
Yeah. So then he's just like, yeah. Then the VHS came out, and we just called it a day. So we didn't think there was much else to it. Also surprised there was like zero mention of extremely goofy movie in this, unless nobody worked on that sequel, because it did a good job of following up and being like a good like straight up successor.
I was really going to ask about that.
Yeah, zero mention of there being like two films.
And one villain kept having his body design changed over the course of the movie.
Huh.
Wait, in the like the sketches, or like the actual movie.
No, if you go watch Extremely Goofy movie, the rich dude's body design like morphs like 3 times during that film.
The rich dude, Goofy's boss, or somebody? Am I thinking of somebody else?
No, the rich dude in Extremely Goofy movie.
Oh, Bradley Uppercrust the Third.
Yeah, Bradley Uppercrust. Go look at him. His body like morphs into like 3 different bodies over the course of that film.
Okay, I'll take a look. But yeah, I was like, yeah, it's and then they also had a thing where, what was it? I don't know how popular Steve Martin was in the 90s.
Oh yeah, no,
he was definitely.
So Steve Martin was like the everyman at the time too, because they were like, yeah, well, you could have Steve Martin as Goofy, but not him doing a Goofy voice. They're like, no, just Steve Martin plays Goofy, and that will be the film. And they were just like, that's not going to work. So then they wanted
Bill Farmer and just make Bill Farmer use his normal voice.
Right.
So they re-record the movie with it, and Katzenberg is like, "No, you're right. This will never work. It has to be Goofy's voice."
That feels like an episode of like a TV show. Like, hey, we now have to sell our own movie terribly, so that he's like, go back to what you were doing before. This was a waste of time,
right?
And he's like, yeah, he's like, you see how that's like that split 30 seconds, that yes or no. That's how an executive makes or breaks a decision. And he's like, he was a bit of a stickler, but he at least cared. He at least kept wanting to do follow up and follow up and follow up. Then Disney fires him, and there's this big. It's all over the news. It's all over the media. Everyone's talking about it. He's like, and now we're sitting here like, do we have a job? Do we still have a movie to make? He's like, and then new regime comes in, and it's just like, yeah, wrap this up. Let's get on to other things.
That is saying a lot. Yeah.
So a nice little insight to the industry. But then the whole part with like the Goofy movie boom, which I will give Cleo Thomas his credit, because he talked about his whole video was basically like, because I've done music. So if you got a popular song and a dance, chances are you had a single, then an album, then a music video. And what does that rollout look like? So to imagine that, and then to get actual Powerline Tour merch is manifestation incarnate.
I mean, but we gotta give you credit, sir, because you were the one that filmed the first. We can't really call it a rap battle, but more like a line off that happened.
That's what it was. It was fully themed after Super Hot Fire, the rap battle. That's why everybody's acting all dramatic after each line. But yeah, I think it was cool. Even doing that, I was hoping it would make the documentary. It didn't.
You know what?
I want to know who wins between Powerline and Bruno Mars, since they're the same guy.
Powerline is more based after the people that Bruno samples a lot to death. So I give it to Tevin Campbell.
Yeah.
And also seeing that the Perfect Cast was actually like they didn't just animate that. They had like actual dancers that they basically mapped around in a studio. Tevin did those songs like quick. Like it didn't take much effort from him. He had enough training and know-how to like, yeah, I can do this 2 songs.
I mean, it's the jutsu that only Goofy has mastered, and yet at the same time has never been imitated.
I think it's also cool to see that, like, because I don't know how long have they been doing D23?
For a while.
A while, I think.
Okay, because I know, like, they used to have like Disney 411 and stuff on Disney Channel, and there'd be like an E3 and stuff, but I never knew. Because when he was like, yeah, the D23 for the 20-year anniversary was basically like a pity party. He's like, and again, it felt like just because. And that was like the first time I think they had all linked up as a cast. But he's like, yeah, so we get this small room in the back from Disney, and they're just like, 20 years, have fun. Here's a few pieces of merchandise. He's like, but security comes in and is like, hey, we've had to turn away like at least 1,000 people because everyone's trying to get in here. He's like, we didn't know what was going on at the time, and we were all genuinely confused because like the main stage didn't have like Marvel and all those people didn't have that many people getting kicked out. We in the back room had to turn around, wait, everyone. So he's like, then we went to Google, and he's like, hey, had no idea an entire other community had adopted this film. Like, they told us it bombed. Go do other projects. I made Tarzan and other things. I called it a career. So these dudes had no idea for like 2 decades that their film had been a staple in everyone's household up until even to the point where it's like when we read the original reviews, man, they tore us apart. So now it's like people tearing those reviewers apart is so interesting because we never would have known. Now here we are at the 30-year anniversary. We're getting booked at cons every year. People want to interview us every other week, and
that's a nice way. That's still a nice way to get your flowers, though. Although I'll be at 30 years later, but hey, you still getting recognized.
So they were always getting them. They just had no idea until I think the 20-year anniversary, because that was I think that was the first time D23 or Disney had done any kind of group thing for them. But then they were just like, yeah, we got to the 20-year, and we're like, what's going? Why are people dressed as Powerline? I didn't know people dressed as Max, and I'm seeing couples as Max. So like no one had ever brought it to their attention. Like, hey, people dress up as you guys. People cosplay. Like they had zero knowledge. They thought, hey, we made a movie that sucked. That's it. I'm like also the only other Disney property that gets continued now because you have Extremely Goofy Movie, which technically goes into House of Mouse, which technically backtracks into DuckTales. And there's another thing I forget. Yeah, DuckTales, because Powerline is popular for at least a decade. Because you got Della and her kids singing it, but Della was missing, so she didn't teach him, meaning he was so popular while she was gone.
Right.
And you got that DuckTales proving that at least before they went to college, Max and Roxanne went to prom.
It's all related.
Right. That's one of the few Disney anything that other people just keep adding to the lore and it fits.
Yeah. My
favorite lore is that Kingdom Hearts is just a tale that Goofy sits and tells Roxanne every time she comes over to the house.
My God, look, for a third movie, if you had his grandchildren, let's go dig through Grandpa's stuff, and they find his old shield. That's all I want. That or Kingdom Hearts 4. We probably need new blood on the block to help Sora. Let me find out Max has been in the background this whole time training to be a magic using knight.
All I'm going to say is patent the idea. Patent the idea since this is broadcasted live. Patent that idea before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, and your idea is right there on the screen.
I wouldn't mind it. Just give me Max Goof, give him a grand entrance, and then let him be his father's son. But yeah, House of Mouse, he got a job with his dad after college.
Lord. Well, with that also being said, guys, before we get to our next trailers, PlayStation news. For all those, if you do have PlayStation Plus, here's the haul for April. As you can see, guys, which will be available, I want to say, April 10th. Sorry. So, games that you can play: PGA Tour Masters, Hogwarts Legacy, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Blueprints, Plate Up, and Battlefield 1. Of course, Alone in the Dark 2 and War of the Monsters will also be available, but on premium. Now, I will say this because I have not played Hogwarts Legacy. However, our podcast brethren, who's probably still watching this, Lainey at Geek by Heart, she has a full playthrough of her Hogwarts Legacy run on Geek by Heart on YouTube. She definitely loves it. I know another one of our other podcast brethren out there, Lady Mandalorian, who's currently on, if she is still playing South of Midnight.
That game is never ending. I thought she was supposed to be done 5 chapters ago. Apparently, there's a bunch of extra stuff, so she is still in there.
So again, you can check her out. You can check her out on Roomful of Blurs. She also played Hogwarts Legacy. So I do know from 2 people that are definitely of the Harry Potter variety. They did like the game. So again, if you're waiting to play an open world game in the world of Hogwarts, you now can do so as it's available now on PlayStation Premium Plus. Blueprints. Do we have anybody's played this game? Because this is a new one on me.
Never heard of it.
I've never seen that, no.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and read this real quickly. So it looks like it's a mystery strategy puzzle game which you are exploring the shifting halls in search of room 46. Well, if you're into puzzles, or if you're into puzzles or strategy and things of that nature, then Blueprints might be up for you. But hey, you got PlayStation Premium. It's free. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, Take Two. Now, this kind of falls into the. I'm trying to think of that doggone game. This kind of falls into the Life is Strange variety. So if you do like that type of gameplay narrative with Life is Strange, Lost Records is pretty much in that same vein. So it's definitely in-depth, unique storytelling. Not like Telltale games, but at the same time, if Telltale games Euphoria had a baby, that's about the best way I can put that. But I did play a little bit of it about good lord, 4 months ago. So it is interesting, but again, if you're in the Life is Strange category, then Lost Records Bloom and Rage is going to be up for you. If you're a sports head that has to play golf every 5 seconds, and of course, EJ Sports Tour with Road to the Masters is available. I'm not really a golf person. The closest I've been to golf is putt-putt golf, only because that's my jam, and Top Golf because I try to drive stuff off the top floor. Again, if you are a golfer or just a golfer at heart, then PGA Tour is definitely up for you and is available on PlayStation Premium. Battlefield 1. Oh, that was you were supposed to be.
No, Battlefield 1 was great. It was 5 that sucked.
Oh, right. 5 is I'm getting the wrong.
Because remember, 5, not 5.
2042.
Well, 2042 was also bad. 5 was kind of just unnecessary. That was
5 Hardline.
No, Hardline was okay. It should have stayed Cops and Robbers, a Battlefield game. They just felt like, because the story was cool too, but that one was more like COD-ish because it was
yeah. That's right. I had to think about Battlefield 1. It's been a while since I played Battlefield 1. So again, Battlefield 1. If you ever want to see what happens when 80 players are all in the same on the same platform, all bullets firing, Battlefield 1's going to be up for you. Just don't go past it. Just don't go past it or play 2042. You will be disappointed. Plate Up, which is another one I've never heard of. Looks like kitchen and restaurant management with strategic planning and development to create a delightful rogue dish like any other. Oh, so it's like The Bear. If The Bear was a video game. If that's up your alley, then go for it. And then, of course, Alone in the Dark 2, which again is a interesting mystery survival horror, kind of like a little mind twister. It is fun. Definitely would recommend it. War of the Monsters, nice little breakout.
Yay!
This is Tom's favorite game of all time. It sucks it doesn't have a platinum trophy.
Right. So again, as you can tell from two people, see, I can't remember War of the Monsters, but again, if you want, I think if I'm right, so it's like Rampage with 6 different monsters, right?
It is a generic monster 3D arena fighter. You have your basic awakened dinosaur from toxic ooze. You have your giant mutated monkey, scientist turned into a monster, alien invader, ancient dinosaur that's been revived,
a Megazord.
The Japanese robot. The Americans attempted making a Japanese robot.
Oh, damn.
You have
the best part is you can start in a fully populated city.
Oh my God! Yes,
pancake that thing to where it's just a giant ball of dirt.
Yeah. So that was one of my first and still most popular videos on YouTube. Was what was that website? I think it was GameWinners.com, and someone was like, "Yeah, you can restructure the map on some stages," and I'm like, "Really?" So in what was it, Baytown? If you break enough buildings and don't let the NPCs do it, the ground caves in, and now you just have these pockets of land missing, and now there's like these air vents that spit out toxic waste. There's one level where you're fighting in Japan, and if you hit the spaceship, it causes a tidal wave, and if you do it, all the citizens on the ground disappear. It is dumb, stupid fun. Like
nice.
It is absolutely child. I've been saying, way to keep that game alive or bring it back. If the current Godzillaverse just bought it, and for every new movie you just release new skins, because that game dropped with it came out with a collaboration with Twisted Metal Black.
Oh, right. Okay, that's why I remember it.
Well, they kind of have that new version of that. It's under a different name. Ultraman's in it, Godzilla's in it, and their own original characters are in it. I think it's Gigabash.
I'll take your word for it. And
the cool thing about this one is these are like the old school movie monsters. We're not talking about like 60, 100, or 600, 500 feet tall monsters. We're talking about like trumping through downtown and able to climb on stuff-sized monsters.
Yeah, like the way you can climb, you can throw stuff, you can impale each other, you can get wings by getting people crushed by buildings.
Damn.
Like it was a unique piece of just gaming, and I don't know what happened to the company. It went down after something.
Yeah, Takara, look at the Gigabash.
It might got swallowed. It might got swallowed in acquisitions, probably.
It could have.
It probably got swallowed, and now they're making Call of Duty.
I can see that. Well, still, but yes, all those games are available on PlayStation Premium Plus, available since yesterday. So definitely check it out if you do so feel inclined. So the next couple of trailers we do got, we might as well start off because Disney again, because with D23 coming around the bend. Tron Ares. Before I play this, was anybody really looking forward to another Tron movie?
I feel like the last one, everyone was just so happy to finally get another Tron anything, but I'm seeing a lot of good responses to this. I know they've been so spread out. It's kind of, if you're not like a diehard fan, it's kind of hard to see how these all connect. Because the last Tron movie was before or after the original, technically?
I want to say after the original, but Joe, am I wrong about that?
This one takes place after that one.
So Tron, what was the second one? Tron Legacy?
Tron's like corrupted in Tron Legacy.
They have a weird timeline. So it goes like Tron, then Tron 2, the video game. Then technically Tron Legacy happens before, or no, Tron Uprising, the Disney Plus show.
Okay.
Goes before the actual movie because that's where Tron gets corrupted.
Okay.
In that animated series. Then Tron Legacy and then Tron this one.
Okay. So that would probably explain a lot. Because I have to probably go back because I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember anything past Tron Legacy.
Yeah, even in Kingdom Hearts, I think they tried to say so that like Tron Legacy leads into the Tron story of Kingdom Hearts 2. Because I guess his world was different before he got put into the master computer over there.
Yeah.
So you had to like uncorrupt him, and then you'd end up meeting him later on in time or whatever. So we'll see what this does.
Yep. So if you haven't seen it,
you guys not seen the trailer?
No,
not yet. I was waiting for this.
Okay.
This is my first time watching it. So here's the trailer for Tron Ares.
Motorcycle is exceeding speeds of 120 miles per hour. Last seen heading northbound.
Unit 12, acknowledging dispatch. Already in pursuit.
I'm looking for something. Something I do not understand. Ready? Because there's no going back.
Okay, I got several questions. So that's Tron Ares, guys. As you can see, will come out October the 10th of this year, as the film is not yet rated, but we know it's probably going to be close to a PG-13 because it's Disney. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't get loose after Legacy, right? He still was still in his own world. He didn't get loose into the real world, right?
Oh, so didn't they drop him in like the not digital C from Cole Lyoko and to like fix himself or something.
Yeah.
Last I remember.
Because I'm like, when did he get loose in the real world?
When did any of them get loose? I didn't know they could even come out here.
Right.
No, remember his girlfriend that was played by Olivia Munn got to come into the real world.
Did she?
I remember that, but I thought he was I thought he was stuck there.
Door can swing both ways now, apparently.
Well.
So was that Michael Morbius I saw?
Yep.
Yes, he's the new Flynn character or Flynn adjacent character.
Okay.
Because we heard Kurt Russell for like a hot second.
Oh yeah. But I was just curious about that because I was like, wait a minute. If I remember, it's like he didn't get loose unless this is explaining how he did. But yeah, Jared Leto, boy, if third time's a charm in movies. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love 30 Seconds to Mars, but sir.
He wasn't too bad in Blade Runner 2049 for all of being in it for 5 minutes.
True. I just want him to have a good run in movies. That's all I'm saying. But let us know what you guys think about Tron Ares. Is it worth it? Are you gonna be interested? I know I'm gonna go back and go watch Tron Legacy now because now I got freaking questions. But moving right along, we do got a couple more trailers before we get into our Daredevil and our anime picks. This one just happened to catch my eye. If you were just happen to be paying attention, there was a thing called the Triple I Initiative that actually did have a stream this week about games they showed. This one particular game that hopefully will be on Steam one day, I want to look at because it's kind of in the same vein as Black Myth Wukong, as the next Ghost of Yotai. It's kind of got that feel to it. You'll understand what I'm getting at momentarily once I play the trailer. It's called Morbid Metal. It's called Morbid Metal. I didn't come up with the title. They did. Now, that was the trailer for Morbid Metal. As you can see, it is a Steam game, which will be on Steam eventually. I like it just because it's way, way, way different as far as gameplay goes. It does have a little bit of Devil May Cry, a little bit of Black Myth, a little bit of Soul. Not the difficulty, but just the level of enemies that you're facing. I know I'm hooked on this. Like I said, this is the only reason why I'm getting, well, not the only reason. The only many reasons why I'm getting the Steam Deck is because of this. But fellas, what did you think?
Wait, Steam Deck is the only way you can play it?
No, you can do it on Rogue Ally too. Pretty much any Steam Deck-esque peripheral can do it. So I mean, you can get the Steam Deck, you can get the Ally Rogue, you can get there's like five to seven different peripherals out there that can do it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's got its own, like I said, metallic feel to it. So it's, got the little bit of hack and slash in there, but at least seems like it's got its own original thing going on. So it's worth taking a look at.
Joe, what do you think?
I think it needs to come out on console so I can have a better judgment of it.
Right.
I think it will eventually. Like I said, the console wars is going to come to PC. It's eventually going to wind up just being all PC at some point. But yeah, along with Xbox trying to do a handheld, they're going to join the PC race as well. But Joe did remind me of another trailer, the Phoenician Scheme. Sarah, would you like to explain this? Because the first thing I saw was Benicio del Toro in the weirdest. You might want to explain it, sir.
So this is the new Wes Anderson film. If you don't know who that is, he did The Royal Tenenbaums, Grand Budapest Hotel, Astro City, The French Dispatch, those weird artsy high. Not, I was about to say high IQ, but high concept comedies that he's known for.
Uh-huh.
So this is his newest one.
All right. Here's the Phoenician scheme.
At this moment, rescue workers are laboring to recover and identify the remains of Zsa Korda, international businessman, maverick in the fields of armaments and aviation, among the richest men in Europe. This was Korda's 6th recorded airplane crash. He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesl.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not saying. Korda Land and Sea Phoenician Infrastructure Scheme, my most important project of my lifetime.
Our objective, disrupting, obstructing, impeding, crippling Korda's enterprise in any manner possible.
Get the hand grenades. Today, tonight, and tomorrow, we rendezvous with every Titan and pretend we agree what we already agreed. But in fact, we don't. We can't. Call it. Heads. Heads.
Is this supposed to be here? It was under the lunch trolley.
Oh dear, who shot you?
Kara's from out of town. Help yourself to a hand grenade.
You're very kind.
Could you imagine falling in love with a man like me, by the way, hypothetically?
You're drunk on 3 beers.
Why are you shooting my ceiling?
This is a robbery on behalf of...
I understand that. I'm asking about my ceiling. You idiots are destroying a magnificent nightclub. One thing you'll never know because you can't. The truth. I suppose I'm moved by this absurd performance. I recognize this assassin. Go now. Suicide panel.
Where's the father? Take this miserable sin into the company.
Oh my. What?
I have so many questions.
Yeah. It's so close by, too.
I have so many questions. Sir, if you take an airplane 6 times and have 6 accidents, just ground at that point. And then, you know what? I think, but beyond that, Tom Hanks shooting a J with Bryan Cranston right across from him, unfazed, and then Michael Cera, I'm assuming, is playing some type of Freudian character. At the same time, just Benedict Cumberbatch is I got nothing. I got nothing.
So this is actually the first time Michael Cera's worked with Wes Anderson, to my knowledge. I'm probably wrong, but he fits right in with all these people, because all these people, the majority of the cast is a normal stable of actors that really like working with them. Mm-hmm. Like Scarlett Johansson and Tom Hanks was in Asteroid City, which they were fantastic in.
Yeah, so, I remember that. Yeah. Wow.
So I just can't wait for this movie, because I just like. Would anybody like a hand grenade?
He loves hand grenades like damn near candy, ain't he? It is in theaters May the 30th, so again, not too far off. But sorry.
And his daughter, who's the nun, just whips out a tiny knife all the time.
I'm troubled with the fact that suicide pill, and she immediately goes into the you're forgiven, just with knife in hand, but still.
I'm like, is this a Tropic Thunder situation? Like, are we watching a movie being made?
Never seen a Wes Anderson film?
No, I mean,
if I have, the last one was A Fever Dream. I'm trying to remember.
All right, so I think there's some you can watch that right now. Try Grand Budapest Hotel.
Because the Asteroid City is available.
Asteroid City.
Asteroid City was the last one I meant to check out, but never got a chance to.
Wait, you may have. Did you ever see The Aquatic Life of Steve Zissou with Bill Murray?
I did not, but that name does ring a bell.
That's also a Wes Anderson film.
That explains a lot.
Bill likes working with them too, just like Tom Hanks does.
You know what? I would give that a watch. I am not gonna lie, just because of how it goes from one extreme to another. That's the thing that just sticks with me. It's like, wait a minute, this is what we're doing. All right. But again, looking forward to it. That's gonna stick in my head that Tom Hanks just casually shooting a jumper, and Bryan Cranston, who looks like Napoleon Dynamite in that scene, that's gonna bug me. Hey, Lady Mando, she came. She's off her stream. How'd the stream go? I think you found out there was more chapters in South of Midnight. She's probably ready to cuss me out right now. But again, thanks for the evening, Kate. Hopefully, Kira, like I said, I was just telling them, Kira, about your stream on South of Midnight. Of course, at Roomful of Blurs, definitely check that out. As my camera decided it's going to say "F it all." So, that also being said, the last trailer we do have, guys, is a teaser for Street Fighter 6 with Elena. I don't know what to make of this, but I'm just going to play it and let the record speak for itself. And to answer Kira's point, we are all confused. I am confusion. We all are. So that was the teaser trailer for Elena, because what's happening next? This is the Fighters Edition that's coming out for Street Fighter, as you guys can see, Street Fighter 6 will be available on June the 5th on mostly all platforms. Now, the thing you want to take from this, guys, is that they are coming out with another edition of Street Fighter 6. I want to say year 3 is not too far off from now. Elena is a staple. I do remember her from 4 and 5. It's just weird that the way they want to introduce her looks like the guy just took an acid trip and then finally came out of it. But any thoughts on that? I know, Chad. I know I played with Elena a little bit in Street Fighter. She wasn't my initial favorite, but Joe, Tafari, did y'all ever play with her in Street Fighter?
I never got a chance. And
oh, hang on. I know. I think I know what the problem is. Go for it.
Yeah, never got a chance to really mess with that at all. I like that everybody's getting their own little cool role. It's the fact that all these fighting games are giving everyone these custom rollouts you probably never see in game.
Right.
The story mode is usually like, hey, here's a screenshot, a slideshow, and their backstory. So I like that everybody, like even with what was the City of Wolves we've been watching the last couple of months. I like that everybody's at least getting their own creative stories being told in their in their displays. Also, I know Devil May Cry has apparently been showing a lot of love to the Capcom world. I have not had a chance to sit through it yet.
Oh, yeah. The one thing I will say about Fatal Fury, that bass line. That's how I know every time it's a new trailer. That bass line hits, I'm like, okay, new trailer. I'm not against it. Like I said, I'm more along the lines of if you're going to do something or show a new character in a fighting game, show actual footage of their actions. I'm okay with the cinematic trailers, but
she's late.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, and I say this with all love in the world. yes, she'll be available in June. You could do where Mortal Kombat has success in, Street Fighter 6 kind of delays it for no reason. Like you can show their actions and just say, okay, here's a taste of what they can do fight wise. Fine. That's all I need. A good minute, 30 seconds, cool. The cinematic trailer doesn't really say a lot because then it's like, okay, we still want to see how they would act in the fighting situation. So that's why I'm saying I get what Street Fighter is doing. I get what you're trying to do. It's like, hey guys, we're rolling out with this. It's not 100% complete, but it's like there's a reason we call them appetizers. That's all I'm saying. It's not full, but you get a taste. Is what I'm getting at.
So then, what will they show at Summer Games Fest?
More than that, hopefully.
Probably not. In fact, we're probably going to get a gameplay trailer at Summer Games Fest.
Here's what I'll say about Summer Games Fest before anything else. If that is all they show for one character, I'm not saying Capcom's in trouble, but Capcom is really confident.
They should be. They just put out Monster Hunter Worlds. More than likely, we're going to get Resident Evil 9 announced.
That's
we're
fine.
Also hinting at a Resident Evil remake of either Resident Evil 1 or Code Veronica.
They're gonna, you know what? Not to cut you off, they better do Veronica first. Code Veronica better come first for one.
And maybe 9.
I mean 9 I expect just because, but Code Veronica better that remake of Code Veronica. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but that remake of Code Veronica better come first for one. That's all I'm saying. Because one's been remastered, just not to the current next gen. But I'm just saying.
I don't mind this trailer. I find it weird that, and I don't know a lot about African fighting styles, but I'm not 100% up on if capoeira is an African fighting style.
Brazilian.
No, she's from Africa.
Yeah, she's from Africa, but capoeira's regions are in Brazilian.
Okay, so there's that. Aside from the fact that her best friend is Akuma.
That's still weird.
She is also incredibly problematic as a character gameplay-wise, not design-wise. People are once again forgetting that this is the World Tour model, not the model you'll actually play.
Please
as
tell me
they have been since the beginning of time.
Please tell me they're not nitpicking again.
Oh, of course they are, because they keep forgetting, just like they did the last 6 DLC characters, we get the World Tour model first, because this is the intro to World Tour.
Right.
That we just saw, and the fighting game model will be slightly different. We just went through this but a couple months ago with Mai.
Oh, I chalked that up to basement incels, but go ahead.
So there's that. They need to balance her well because she was very problematic and a big problem the last 2 times she appeared because she did too much healing. So she needs to either be healing your drive gauge or your super meter, not your vitality meter this time around.
Yeah, true. I will give it that. But
other than that, I have no problems with Elena. Other than the fact that this thing makes me sing I just can't wait to be king for this trailer.
Because you saw the whole circle of life in the background?
Oh, yeah. No, what's the circle of life I've ever seen?
all you were missing was Rafiki and Simba? You can say it. You can say it. I thought the same doggone thing. Go ahead and say it. But like I said, it's not like we're not going to play it. But before we get to Born Again Episode 8, quick news about Devil May Cry 2 that Tafara brings that up. If you have not seen the Netflix version of Devil May Cry, highly recommend you do. It's 8 episodes. You can really knock it out in an afternoon. But we did find out that Devil May Cry 2 is getting a season 2. And it's not going to end. They're not waiting. It's actually going to be a lot sooner than we think. As I said, that season 2 is coming soon. Not to spoil anything, because again, if you haven't seen it, we highly recommend that you do. They do take a lot of aspects from a lot of the games. And some people had some issues with certain characters, but it's just a retelling of the story. Still think it's great. Action is there. Mr. Bosch, again, knocks out the park. But yeah, I can't really. Like I said, not really gonna go into a lot of it because again, not wanting to spoil for people. Would highly recommend that you watch it. At the same time, am glad that it's getting a season 2. Tafara, I know you watched an episode. Joe, I know you watched a couple of episodes. Is it worth the season 2, or it should just be a one shot?
Oh no, I think they should definitely keep it going. From what, because it seems like everybody ate this up like quick. And I'm seeing praise all over for this thing. So you got a good formula, stick to it. Do not let any executives stick their grubby little fingers in it, and leave it be.
Pretty much, Joe.
I think it needs a season 2 because we only got one half the story, and I'm fairly certain we're going to see significantly less red and a bit more blue in season 2.
You know what? You're probably right. But again, let us know in the comments if you've seen Netflix Devil May Cry. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And is it worth a season 2? Outside of that, we are going to talk about Daredevil's Born Again, episode 8. Again, if you have not seen Daredevil's Born Again, episode 8, we are talking about it in its full detail. If you have not seen it, now's a good time to mute us and come back to us in a few minutes. Or, watch it and watch it right along as we're talking. Either way is fine. So, that being said, guys, I know it's called the Isle of Joy for episode 8, but I'm going to be honest. I know I'm breaking my own role here on language, but it really should be called Matt is fucking up, because Matt, Mr. Murdoch, the man without fear, was literally a man that was not thinking the entire episode. Being shook by Wilson Fisk, being shook by his relationship with his therapist, who at this point practically knows who he is, but still has this whole "you're not letting me in" type thing. At the same time, our resident sharpshooter, Mr. Poindexter, seemed to be getting released in the gym pop. At the same time, Fisk is kind of doing his victory run because he's basically got majority of New York under his thumb. He's moving forward with his Red Hook project, and getting the billionaires in line. Again, we can also say that getting billionaires in line is not a problem. I don't think anybody has a problem with that part. However, it was weird seeing Swordsman come back into the fray, and then Swordsman kind of being strong-armed into doing whatever bidding that Mr. Fisk wants him to do. At the same time, we are also seeing BB and I keep on wanting to call the boy Tony Soprano Jr. I gotta remember his name.
He's trying to be, basically.
Yeah. And it's that is the weirdest frenemy relationship I have ever seen, to where they both use each other, both would cut out each other's legs if need be, but apparently still cool enough to go have a drink together. Weird. At the same time, we did find out that Mr. Bullseye, teeth and all, managed to break out of prison to the ball, to where Matt discovers before I actually get ahead of myself, where Matt decides to go to the ball to go with his girlfriend therapist, and Wilson Fisk, this man is walking on 10. I mean, he is literally talking in conversation because, of course, he knows who Matt Murdock is, and is talking to the point to where he knows he can hear it. This causes Murdoch to blind man bump into his wife, to where he sat there and says, "I know it was you that killed Foggy," to which she acted as if she did not understand a word she was saying. But then
That's crazy. Killed Foggy. I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
But then the crazy part was the and attitude. It's like the facade just dropped, and she goes, "And what do you think? What do you think was going to happen tonight?" At the same time, we seen Poindexter make his way through, taking out a cop that kind of deserved it because he did not need to put old boy's hand in the deep fryer to prove a point. Poindexter literally aims for Kingpin, and then we see Murdoch jump in the way, taking the bullet to where the episode wraps up, to where Murdoch is possibly alive, maybe clinging to life. Wilson realizes that Bullseye tried to take him out, unaware that the fact that his wife may have actually called out the hit. So that's pretty much the gist of episode 8. Fellas, we're only one episode away from it being the end of the first season of Daredevil. Although Daredevil does get 18 episodes, 9 episodes per season. So we are going to be in for a treat next week. But thoughts around the table, guys. What are we thinking that's going to wind up being the? I'm not going to say the end, but the whole point for season 1 for Born Again.
It's gonna be Iron Man 2 when what is it, the army guy has to pin the Medal of Freedom or whatever on Tony Stark and he ends up stabbing him. That's gonna be Fisk and Matt in front of the entire city. Their beef has now escalated to the entire city of New York.
I can see that.
But I think Matt also jumped because he realizes, even if you are like, you're just a shady businessman, but you're not technically a bad guy anymore. So, minus the guy you've been like beating on for like how many months down in that basement in Red Hook.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, got the wrong guy. You don't deserve to die for this. How he knew to jump in front of Fisk, because I definitely thought he was going to shoot one of the women.
Right.
Also, BB and Tony Soprano Jr. have the worst friendship of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, I threatened you. You blackmail me. I ruined your job. I write exposés. Let's go get shots. And I'm like, lady, who's and between the deep, first off, he held his hand in that deep fryer for a while. Like, I need Frank, come get your fanboys. Although I think apparently Punisher's getting a special now, like kind of like Werewolf by Night. So,
Frank's about to come through and clean house. I am fairly certain of that. But go ahead.
I was say you guys have more. You guys know more comic-wise about this story than me, so what direction could we possibly get? What the hell are the rest of the Defenders minus Danny?
I'm sorry. Before I go, Joe, you go ahead. Before I go.
It was a good episode. This is one of those ones where Kingpin does one of the very few times where Kingpin does something monumentally dumb and ends up paying for it. Mm-hmm. And this is just that scenario.
Yeah,
because it means no, we'll move him out of solitary and put him in general public. That's all on him.
Mm-hmm. Where you gonna say, Tamara?
I was gonna say because if he doesn't know that what she did to Foggy, then why did he move him to Gen Pop without having any real? Because he's been there all this time. You could have done this any other day. Like why do we just now move him to Gen Pop? That was my
guess is that he thought he probably figured he would break out, but he figured he'd go immediately back after Matt and not him.
Mm-hmm. Because of the fact that Matt did throw him off a 5-story building and he bounced. But that's the thing though, because I was under the impression that Vanessa caused it. Because when I keep wanting to call him New Wesley. When Buck had sat there and said, he escaped, Wilson showed no emotion. She smirked a little bit, which I was like, oh, she's the one. She's the one that got him that set this all in motion. That's at least I'm thinking, because I still say, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Foggy's dead. I honestly don't think Foggy's dead. I think that may have been a setup in itself, but I also think, and I said this on Blurred's Eye View, I'm saying this, we all said this here as well, that if Matt does wake up in the hospital, this is a perfect way to introduce the Defenders back in again, to have Luke Cage and Jessica Jones right there by his side.
Yeah, have them guarding the door. No one's in or out. I would very much. Where's Danny? Stuck at work. He couldn't make it. He sends his regards though.
Tell him Danny's still training in Kowloon. Just leave him there, because like I said, Mr. Jones, until certain martial arts masters give their seal of approval, stay where you are. But no, I think to me it's a great way to introduce Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, using that one episode and saying, we're about to take on the mayor. We're about to take on Mayor Fisk, and he's like, going from there where Luke Cage goes, that's not the person I voted for, and Jessica Jones be like, you haven't killed him yet. So it's always that whole thing of and then of course Frank is in the waiting in the wings part with the cops. So that's a whole nother side of the pot. But I also think this does set up to where either because again we did see some screenshots for season 2 where we do see that Matt Murdock is missing, but he's undercover. Of course, Paige is also undercover with the redhead. So it's going to be, we might see the black suit from Shadowland, although it'd be kind of weird. But again, the suit's there because the helmet's there. I would not be surprised if it does set up to where Matt basically goes underground because, well, everybody thinks that he's dead. And what better way to move around Hell's Kitchen than everybody that thinks you're dead? At the same time, I think that Wilson and I think Fisk and Vanessa, they may have a power struggle because I don't think Vanessa really wants to share the throne. I mean, Fisk has already sat there and said it. You can be Kingpin if you want to. It just can't come back to me as mayor. None of this can tie back to me, which makes me think that, okay, Bullseye being put in Gen Pop was a loose end. It's like, yeah, you're accurate. Yeah, everything in your hand's a deadly weapon. You can't take out an entire prison. At least we don't think, but obviously that's not the case because he broke out. So I will say this for the last episode. I think we are going to see a reveal. I even think we're going to see Old Girl as White Tiger. I think we might even see her. We might see her adorn the medallion. We might see her adorn the suit and the mask.
Yeah, that's another loose end I'm waiting to see them tie up. Because it feels like now that we've gotten him or White Tiger and Muse out the picture, we're just like, all right, next.
But here's the thing about Muse. I'll say this about Muse too. I don't think Muse is dead. Because Muse's ability, Muse in the comics was basically Daredevil's kryptonite. Like, he was blind to all of his heightened senses. Like, he couldn't detect heartbeats. He couldn't hear movements. Supposedly, Muse has above average superhuman strength and agility. Proficient in hand-to-hand combat. So it's weird the Muse that we saw was more like amateur hour. So that's what makes me think that we haven't seen the end of Muse, although Old Girl did put 3 bullets in his chest. But again, I don't think he's dead. But I will say for the last episode, I do think that we are going to see either another character get introduced or characters. Like I said, this is a perfect time to introduce the Defenders. At the same time, I think we're finally going to see Wilson. I think we're going to see Fisk and Vanessa just have that line in the sand. I also think we might even see Echo. We actually might see Echo come back, to be honest.
That was my thing. I'm like, because now, okay, Fisk clearly, this confirms he hasn't gone too far into his old ways.
Right.
Especially making Vanessa shoot at him after all his suffering.
Right. That was a power move, shooting at him.
Yeah, because he couldn't do it, which was cool. Yeah, I'd like to see where the vigilante stance goes. Somebody else was saying you could use this to kind of bring Sam in if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Since we're getting real politicky and Sam was on the other side of a basically anti-vigilante type thing, even though Sam was technically military at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, I'd probably never get it. I'd love to see like a photograph of Spider-Man or, hey, here's all the vigilantes we're looking out for. And Peter pops up.
Right.
Something that lets us know like where we're headed or what kind of craziness is about to come through. Some vigilantes get rounded up and need lawyers. She-Hulk pulls up. You could do a myriad of cameos and make it make sense in like the last 2 minutes.
Oh, and that's a perfect time. It is. This is the reason why I keep saying that when it comes to this episode before the season finale, it is a perfect vehicle to introduce a lot of characters and still, reintroduce them to the current MCU. I mean, like you said, She-Hulk, perfect. Superheroes need a lawyer vigilantes need a lawyer because they're basically being sued. She steps in just fine. You have the Defenders, which again, a good way to introduce Jessica and Luke back to New York also would work. At the same time, you do have White Tiger, you do have Echo, you could even go I don't know if they go Elektra. I don't know if they go Elektra or not. Let me not throw that in the phrase. And at the same time, you have Punisher, who can make a pop-up in the last episode and go, all cops that wear the mark are on notice. That would be freaking perfect. That's all I'm saying. But again, it's one of those things where it gets you excited about the next episode. It gets you excited about how they're going to wrap it up because it can go 100 different ways from Sunday and be freaking perfect. But like I said, I don't think Foggy's dead. I think Matt may go underground. I think Fisk may go back to his old ways. It's just hard to say. But again, if you're watching this in the comments, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think what's going to happen in the last episode. But like I said, we got one more episode, and then we're out in the cold for a little while because Disney said, nope, you're going to run to your pockets for at least another good couple of months. Because D23 is still coming up, and the Disney and the mouse still needs money. So
but then finding out, because Reese, I think Vincent D'Onofrio said they can't use his character in movies, which I think is dumb. So
it is
in this very political time in the MCU between, new Captain America, Winter Soldier is now an active congressman, or is about to win an election to become a congressman, and then we got Kingpin, Mayor Kingpin in New York, but we got Valentina downtown. Like, how does none of it's gonna be weird to try to make none of this intersect, or at least not. I wonder if a name drop is allowed because it's crazy that none of this crosses paths at all. Or they got to be super clean about it. Swordsman, you're a billionaire. Hang it up, buddy. You don't need to be out here doing anything. Why, if you're undercover, why would you bring your press badge to work?
Right.
If you're already spying, that was just stupid. Police commissioner, I get. I'm glad she does know that Kingpin killed BB or her uncle. Because I'm like, okay, so you do know. I get you're working an angle, but you and this boy are still terrible friends. Like, hey, do ketamine and drink, and I'm gonna write a complete expose article and make your next day at work horrible with the hangover.
But that's the crazy part. The police commissioner wants out, and now he realizes I got dirt on every officer in that unit at your disposal. I was like, oh, that's your way out.
And then finding out Foggy. So tying it back to whatever Fisk, I feel like they're trying to build Fisk Tower or something over there in Red Hook because So Foggy's client saw something over there where Vanessa was taking over at the time, which I guess was during Echo. Hires Poindexter. That crap happens. Kingpin takes over, and he's basically getting crap for Vanessa because that's everyone's like, well, wouldn't he be moving Poindexter to cover for her? Yeah. Now we find out in real time he doesn't know, so it makes the move seem kind of random. And also, why do you want Matt of all people to represent you? I still don't get why call him of all people. Or did Matt knock his tooth out on purpose? It was a cool sequence. I'm just confused by what got us here.
I would be mad that my eye got put out by a freaking molar. I don't know why that bothers me more than anything else. You literally spit your tooth in my eye to take my eye out, and then take scissors and break them in pieces and then use them as darts. I just have something against that. I'm just saying. But again, it'll be interesting, to say the least. But with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and move into the comics portion of the evening. But before we do get to that, we do want to shout out to Rick's Comic City. And the reason why we're saying this right now, guys, because if you haven't noticed, Free Comic Book Day is coming up, May the 3rd. So I know for here in the Middle Tennessee area, Rick's Comic City, their two locations, Nashville, Clarksville, Tennessee, will be doing Free Comic Book Day. And just like the name implies, everybody, it is free comic books. We encourage you to bring down kids, bring down anybody that's interested, or just flat out just curious about comics. Definitely go to your local comic book store on May 3rd for Free Comic Book Day. Pick up some comics, get to learn the rest of the world, and be cool about it. But again, we do want to show love to Rick's Comic City because they show us love here at Get Bit Podcast because our show shows on their television. So we want to thank them for that. At the same time, guys, keep in mind, Free Comic Book Day is May 3rd. Definitely check that out. Outside of that, guys, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, guys, again, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries, support your local bookstores. They could use your patronage and they can use your dollars. Sure, Amazon is great, Barnes and Noble is great, but there's something going to a place that just gives you an experience where you can actually not just get comics, meet like-minded people, and above all else, have fun. That's what I do every time I go to a comic book store. But again, definitely support them and check them out. That being said, Joe, I do see that you have your comic book up, sir, so I'm just going to see if it's going to add. Oh, crap. Forgot. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, sir, whenever you're ready. And you're muted, sir.
You know, we forgot to do our anime, right?
I was gonna say,
I was asking. Do you want to go ahead and still do it? I am completely unprepared, but you guys can talk about it. Oh, I'm completely unprepared. So if you guys want to talk about
I've been waiting for Fire Force to come back, and apparently, I like how they timed this to come back right when Dr. Stone goes on break. Which, by the way, for everybody saying that anime is too, it's too non-battle-ish and whatever, you haven't met the Americans yet. You get a very, you get a very Western introduction to the Americans, in every way you could think possible. Like,
I was gonna say if they didn't like that part, I was gonna say they're gonna love that side.
Yeah.
But no, we did actually have some anime picks, guys. I know life be life on my end, so I wasn't able to do my due diligence for my 3 picks. But Tafari, Joe, if you guys want to talk about your picks, feel free.
Yeah, Vigilantes is a nice side story to the actual like My Hero world, especially since I don't know what they're gonna do for the final season. They do like there is almost nothing left. Like unless they stretch this final battle into like every episode or every phase is like 3 episodes.
It's gonna be Frieza Goku all over again.
Or God forbid, because there's a thing they have to do with each vestige, and God forbid it is 9 episodes of flashbacks for each person who held the quirk. That is my worst nightmare for that fight.
Holy crap! So they are gonna Vegeta. They are gonna Vegeta freeze. I'm sorry, they are gonna Goku freeze it.
So in the manga, it's like, hey, we need all 9 of you to clock in right now because we all technically it is the full assembly of this quirk versus the full assembly of this quirk, and basically it's like, hey, all of you need to now come out. Hey, Lizzie, it's like all 9 of you need to now use this quirk, and we need to operate as one. But my fear is for each one that's like, it's my turn to fight. Here's 20 minutes of his time with the quirk, and I'm praying to God that is not it. But we have the final fight. Deku. What happens with his quirk is very confusing, and it feels like, hey, you got like 3 chapters, buddy. Wrap it up.
Okay.
That's good, but Vigilante basically tells like, hey, there are people who are like, I want to be a hero, but I'm not about to go to school and do read, writing, and arithmetic. I'm not good at math, so I'm just gonna go Matt in season 1 Daredevil, just black ski mask over the top of the face, and we're gonna get this done.
Okay.
Fire Force is also done, by the way. I didn't expect it to wrap up as fast as it did, but Fire Force and Dr. Stone are over, so we are now. I think the goal is to either have them end together or at least back-to-back finish up. So Dr. Stone finished the first half of its final season.
Yeah.
Before okay. So yeah. So yeah, Dr. Stone finished the first half of its final season. Fire Force is beginning the first half of its one now. Basically, teams have assembled. I don't know what was going on in those first 2 minutes. They because that show has gotten weird at some times. The evangelist girl, I don't know if she was having a moment or we were having some altar boy action. They very much left it up to the imagination. Oh yeah, the Dr. Stone manga and Fire Force manga are both finished. The animes are now both on. These are their final seasons. So when Dr. Stone comes back, we're going to see the result of this conflict and some very sad things happen. When Fire Force is coming back now, we're about to get basically the final conflict between these cultists and the Fire Force agents.
So the evangelist and Fire Force. Pretty much, yeah.
Still got to deal with the moles who are amongst the teams and whatnot. So we're gonna, especially with the possible connection to another work of this author. What was the other one I had? Yeah, so Vigilantes is great. It's if you feel like you missed the wave of My Hero, Vigilantes is another good place to pick up on.
Okay. All right, Joe. What about you?
Oh right, you weren't able to get around to your third one.
No, I didn't get around to mine.
Yeah, I gotta actually get into it. I've seen the title around. I gotta get into it.
It was made by the Detective Conan guy, so it's good anime. It's actually a remake from an old 1995-96 anime.
I saw the end. I'm just saying, like, for anybody who only watches the anime, yeah.
Okay. No, go ahead, Joe. Because I'm gonna
All
have to
right,
do
so
my
I'm
animators
like strayed as
later.
far away as I possibly can from what we would expect me to cover. Because trust me, I have a type. So the first soap I did is Apocalypse Hotel. This is a very cute, kind of a mystery thing because what happens here is humanity basically gets wiped out and flees the planet after some sort of mass calamity, which, if I talk about in greater detail, will probably traumatize the majority of the audience. Needless to say, humanity is completely gone. It is the year 2157, and we are focusing on a single hotel in the Ginza district, completely run by robots because this hotel was an early adopter of robotic staff,
Okay.
and it has been it's been over 150 years, I think they said, or close to over 100 years since humanity has fled the planet. So the hotel just continues to operate, and it's just a fun comedy and also kind of sad because even robots have a defined mortality because you run out of they run out of parts maintenance, no one's manufacturing replacement parts, stuff like that. But it's still a very cute, very slice of life anime, which I really enjoyed.
Okay.
The second one, I got to find the title for it because everything's kind of. Again, we went and did stuff that was not exactly known for Joe. Zatsutabi, that's Journey. So this one is about a young manga artist who gets 3 scripts rejected by her editor. So, however, she does win the Rookie of the Year award prior to that. Means she has 1,000,000 yen she can spend. So what this anime really is it's about small town tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So every episode she's going to go to a small town, and we get to see what that's actual towns in Japan. So this is going to help promote tourism to smaller towns because Japan's dealing with an overabundance of over tourism.
Gotcha.
Seen by someone, I believe, American, hanging off a Tory gate in one particular video run around YouTube, which is why Assassin's Creed Shadows has that disclaimer when you get to your first temple of please don't climb these things. No, but like I said, you get to go experience rural Japan and see their commodities, what they do for tourism and whatnot. The first town she goes to is known for 1,221 step shrine.
Oh, good lord!
Which she climbs up, thinking there'll be a wonderful view of the city. There is no view; the forest covers all. So you just go from town to town every episode, which I think is very relaxing. And with as much absurdity as we get with anime, a normal slice of life is always welcome.
Yeah, that's interesting
and
though.
then the other one I'm doing, as soon as I can find it. Oh, there it is. This is actually a Chinese animated series, dubbed in Japanese, called To Be a Hero X.
Okay.
X it's kind of like My Hero Academia, or actually the better definition would be, it's more like the anime series Tiger and Bunny, where it's corporate sponsored superheroes. And the more public trust you have, the more power you get, but the public loses their faith in you, you lose all your powers.
Dang.
Okay.
And the original superhero straight up suicides himself because he's tired of the celebrityism. And a guy who looks similar to him, they dress him as it, and because people believe he is that hero, his body slowly acclimates to the powers given him by the public, and he slowly becomes the new. Unbeknownst to the media, he just becomes that hero, but he's like the new version of that hero. But it also turns out there's a giant murder mystery involved because when he gets home, the number 2 hero, because they all live in this essentially giant hero apartment complex in the sky, we find out the number 2 hero has been murdered in her sleep.
Damn.
So
Okay.
it's really cool because it's Chinese animation, so that means it's very high paced. Also,
Mhm.
it also can go into a secondary, more traditional 2D animation style, but it's mostly CG. But it's good fluid CG. Like this kind of reminds me of the people that does that Chinese animated film Neza, which is known for like ungodly smooth and fluid animation,
Yeah.
like some good quality animation. But yeah, those are my three.
All right. Cool.
I watched everything. I've
Hmm.
watched everything that's come out so far. We've had some other stuff I really like, and we've had some stuff I've tapped out almost 5 minutes into. So
Well, I'm gonna fall on the sword on this one because, like I said, life was lifing, so I wasn't able to get to my three, but I will definitely have my three for next week. So, again,
I
like I said,
really
we try.
hope Don's back up.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, like, we would like the main thing of what we're trying to do, guys, is that yes, anime is good, and we're trying to break away from anime where we usually watch, but we want to bring something new or something different because, again, there's a lot of great anime out there that may not get the same shine because, well, you may see one episode from My Hero or one episode from Demon Slayer and it catches like wildfire. But there's still plenty of other animes out there and mangas that are definitely worth seeing if you do not know about them. So that's why we took it upon ourselves this time around to basically be able to show those things and, like I said, give our opinions on them. We're not experts, but we just want to be able to bring it to the light. Is all we're trying to do.
There's actually one anime out there right now where the producer of the series, it's on Netflix, and the producer of the series has gotten message Netflix to please promote this promotion. It's that Space Revolution series Moon Mirror or something on
Moonrise.
Netflix.
Moonrise.
Moonrise.
I just had it. I was going to watch that tonight. I added it to my list. It looks interesting.
Yeah, the producer told Netflix like you need to promote this. You are not doing your job on Twitter. So he
Damn.
is calling out Netflix on Twitter for not promoting his series.
Now,
I
see,
mean,
now,
they got to get all that money to advertise Pop the Balloon. What do you mean?
Jesus Christ! I was actually planning on watching Moonrise. I saw it pop up on my feed, and I'm like, you know what? This is interesting. I was
Looks
definitely
like
going to watch that.
Gundam. Looks like Gundam espionage intrigue, but without the mobile suits.
Pretty much, but I'm definitely
Well,
going to
by
give
the
it.
way, I am watching Cramp. Side note, nothing to do with anime. I'm actually watching that Jurassic Park animated series.
Uh huh.
It's the Camp Cretaceous version,
Yeah.
not the Chaos Theory version. It's actually legitimately good.
Okay.
I mean, if you want a real stinker, play the Telltale game. It is just
Yeah.
like it watched me. I didn't watch it. The guy whose commentary I saw, that was the only way I got through that. It's just you take dinosaurs eating people, but you try to make it PG, and it doesn't work.
I mean, it's not bad because you can clearly tell, it's like, no, that man is dead. It's like two raptors pop up on the boat, looking at them, was like, no, she's dead.
Dang. All right. Well, thank you guys for that. For those, and like I said, we try to make it our mission because it is getting into the summer portion. Because, dear God, we're already going from April to May, so we'll try to bring up as much anime that doesn't really get the shine that it should, and just things that you might know. And like I said, if you got anime suggestions out there, let us know as well. Because hey, you won't know until you tell somebody. So. With that being said, Joe, I think we can go into comics now because I want to talk about that one right there.
I've been hearing everybody talk about this comic.
Oh, yeah, no, I really enjoyed that because they make Hal Jordan the villain in this.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is Absolute Green Lantern, written by Al Ewing, art, color, and cover by Janoy Lindsay. Pretty much. Our central focus character is Hal, however, he is not the Green Lantern. Sojourner Mullins is our Green Lantern, as in the cover, and the Green Lantern, it may in fact be some giant alien monster because Hal's Black Hand with the ability to just blink people out of existence. unless he keeps that hand in his pocket. But also, Abin Sur looks like a giant kaiju, and the Green Lantern power just like murks a bike gang. And also, Guy Gardner's there.
Guy Gardner is there, and it's like it's interesting where it's like I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Jon Stewart is also best friends with Hal Jordan and Soldier and Joe Mullins, like right off the bat, which I'm fine with. Like that's I don't mind that. It's just Joe's brand new, so I'm still getting used to her, but she is still one of the best Lanterns in like the past while.
Oh yeah, it definitely. I did. Like I said, I liked it. The fact that the fact that he's the Black Hand, literally a Black Hand, and at the same time, it like I said, not to get away too much from this, they've done well with All In Universe so far. Almost every one of them, and Kira just picked that one up today. So far, every All In story has just been great. And this one looks like it's really setting up to be a nice one. I don't want to really go too much more into it because I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but it is definitely worth reading.
Yep. Next up, we got Secret Six #2. Unfortunately, they had a really, really rough time of telling me who is what. I think it's Sarah Maines is the writer, and then we have our art team. Pretty much, the book is what it says. Everyone's trying to fight everybody. John's just trying to get control of everything. John's boyfriend is still trying to kill Dreamer because of the things that went down in Absolute Power.
Yep.
Still recommend reading this. This is still a really good book. It's just the cover pretty much gives the overall plot of the book away almost immediately.
All I gotta say is Deadshot is the voice of reason. That's all. I'm leaving it at that. The fact that Deadshot is the voice of reason, just still worth reading. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Green Lantern Corps #3. This is written by Morgan Hampton and Jeremy Adams. Fernando Parson is pencils. Claire Albert and Jason Paz is inks. Arif Paranto and Rain Barreto is colors. Pretty much it's just John and Shire still trying to save the Red Lantern Corps while the god of Thanagar manifests itself in Horus of all things.
Yep.
Solid book, good looking book, very, very detailed art. Still not used to this like impromptu not quite relationship or trying to rekindle a relationship with John and Shire, which only comes from the animated series.
Yeah, it's a will there, won't they kind of thing.
Like I'm fine with it because they established this in the animated series, but they were never a thing in the comics.
I mean, if Vixen shows up, her days are numbered.
Pretty much.
Oh no, the one he has to worry about is fatality.
Ooh.
They nearly married in one book until they flat out said, "Oh no, that's a clone."
Yeah. But still, damn.
Speaking of all in books, Fire and Ice when Hell freezes over. So the girls are back. This is basically their season 2 from Fallout from that weird event that was like swapped a lot of people's powers. So Fire and Ice swapped their powers. Well, this season their body swapped.
Mm-hmm.
And then shenanigans. That's pretty much the crux of this book. We got a lot, so we can't delve into every single thing.
Fair.
But no, instead of power swap, they're full on body swap this season. So I do look forward to this because I love my Bwahaha era of the Justice League, and Fire and Ice are always entertaining. Especially since Mod Ken is the voice of reason for them a lot of the time.
Still funny. Sorry, go ahead.
And Elrond's there.
Oh boy.
And this is written by Joanne Stir with art by Stephanie Breen and covers by the Dodson family, which the Dodsons always do great work.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on over to Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man #1. This is written by Joe Kelly, art by Pepe Larraza. So we're starting off this book actually pretty solid. We look into the daily life of Peter Parker trying to get a job, at numerous job interviews, where he just becomes more and more tired because his job interview somehow always coincides with a villain mishap to where he has to leave until he finally gets another job.
Mm-hmm.
We see the big bad setup for this one is a goblin, just not green, but a bit more hob.
Right.
And we see the backup story of Norman Osborn is probably going to go back to being the Gold Goblin again because he's just tired of. He understands what he did in his past life and he's trying to atone for it, and he's getting sick of people trying to kill him.
Pretty much.
Rightfully so, he does say, but still, he's getting tired of it.
I just love the fact he said he just gets annoyed with trying to do good. I'm like, oh yeah, the moment you sat there and said that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna turn around and revert heavily.
Yeah. But no, this is a solid start to this Spider-Man. I don't have any problems with one. Art was good. A Day in the Life of Peter Parker is always hilarious. We do get to see that Hobgoblin's probably going to be our primary antagonist for a little bit. So right now, no complaints.
I'm gonna wait. Like I said, I don't have any problems with this current run. Like I said, it feels like a soft little trap being set up, but that's just me.
That's because we've been hurt too many times since the end of Dark Web.
That is also true.
Is that the one where Joe was just like, every time we went through comics?
Yes. That's exactly the arc. The arc itself. You're 100% right.
Half the time.
Oh man.
Next up, we do Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, the 10th anniversary special. This is written by a myriad of people. Brandon Monteclair, Justina Ireland, and with art by Natasha Bustos and Luis Guerrero.
Mm-hmm. I know that writing is. Whoo.
Wait, how old are they in the cartoon?
Moon Girl?
Yeah, aren't they like teenagers?
Close to it. I think she's 11 or 12 years old.
I was thinking she's 10 in this one?
Yeah. For this issues, I think she's 10 years old.
I'm curious if she ever gets introduced, but then again, how do you hide a giant 50-foot
so the first issue is Happy Birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then the second one is a flip. It's Devil Girl and Moon Dino.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where her dinosaur is a Tyrannosaurus. But no, she's been around for 10 years, so this is her 10th birthday issue where she's dealing with the Impossible Man. I really dug it. It was great. Two good stories.
Oh, it was cute. I will say that. Although every time I read Moon Girl now, it just reminds me that Disney, you had a wonderful show. You had a wonderful show, and you 86'd it. But I digress.
Yeah. Next up, we got Wolverine, Laura Kinney. This is written by Erica Schultz, art by Giada Belviso, and colors by Rachel Rosenberg. The road trip with Bucky and Laura continue, where they continue to fight Hydra. Is that the one John Jennings wrote? Let me know.
The Moon Girl comic. Looks like Brendan wrote it.
Wrote this story, but I believe that is the original writer. Yes. John Jennings may be the original writer.
Okay.
But yeah, like I say, Laura and Bucky fight Hydra, and then Laura somehow gets maybe zapped back in time at the end of the issue. Good book, really do like that we're promoting Laura again. She is my favorite Wolverine. And Bucky's going to be in just about everything because they got to promote Thunderbolts.
Yep.
Oh, we're on the 7th one already?
Storm number 7. This is yep. This is written by Neuro Ideoli. Art by Luciano Venco and colors by Alex Ramirez and Furso Fuentes Soho. Storm is still cosmic and dealing with cosmic stuff. Silver Surfer also made an appearance, but he's Silver Surfer and Ashen because he's got his black form from the more adult line that came up recently, not too long ago, along with the Sword of the Enders. So I don't know if this is like teasing that Storm and Silver Surfer are going to have a throwdown later on, but still solid, good book, solid artwork.
Yeah, I feel like I saw. Where's her book? Hold on, because I'm on the Marvel website. Yeah, okay, Storm 7. And they already have pre-orders up or teasers for 8 and 9, which I don't think. Do they usually show the other issues that are coming ahead of time?
They usually get a preview sometimes. They usually sometimes preview. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm like, they're showing 2 whole books ahead this time, and I'm like, all right, is she? As long as we're not. Okay, because I'm like, we're not capping it at 9, right? Because it seems like we still got so much more to do.
Yeah.
Storm is one of the X books that is not getting canceled anytime soon.
No, they got way too much success with that right now. Ain't that right, Obi?
Last week we got X-Men written by Jed McKay, art by Ryan Stegman, inkers Ryan Stegman and J.P. Mayer, and colors by Marty Garcia. The X-Men are under attack by the Dark Krakoan Council. We are introduced to a new character named Wire who looks some horrible design straight out of the 90s. And blows up the Marauder with Queen Choir in it, so Queen may be dead.
At the same time, there's the main twist is the child at the end.
Yeah. Which we have no idea what her powers are.
Pretty much.
Well, who are the parents?
Next up, we got Uncanny X. Do what?
Oh, the parents. Here's the twist about it. The parents are anti-mutant haters.
Oh, okay.
That's not a twist. That's just Tuesday.
I mean, it is.
That's Bastion.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's Adam Eve's parents.
Really, Obi?
I'm glad he's got strong opinions about the books.
Oh yeah, the new word is no, but go ahead. He's still talking.
So next up we got Uncanny X-Men number 14, written by Gail Simone, art by David Marquez, and colors by Matt Wilson. That second Eye of Agamotto Remy took from a dragon. A new dragon has come to fetch it and takes Remy to the Savage Land where they fight a bunch of T-Rexes. Meanwhile, the kids go to some remote area near the house where looks like something Mr. Sinister's up to. And we also get a callback to a young black mutant in Louisiana during the time of segregation, where I don't know what her story's going to be, but I wonder if she's tied to the house in some way. So, good stories all around, good artwork. Gail continues to impress, but she knows what she's doing when it comes to Gambit and Rogue. There's no problems. A lot of people were very, very confused on the way they sleep, where Rogue is just cocooned or Remy's with her, but it's just Rogue's habit of sleeping completely cocooned because of what her powers like, even though her powers now are fully functional and she doesn't need a dampener anymore.
Right.
She just like instinctively is cocooned. Oh yeah, we got Doctor Strange of Asgard. This is I forgot to grab the title page, but that's okay. Solid book, good artwork. Doctor Strange is continuing to look into the murder case of the Sorcerer Supreme or the Chief Sorcerer of Asgard, who would relinquish and give him the title Sorcerer Supreme for Asgard, despite the fact that Loki is technically it, but doesn't use the title, so title's up for grabs. But Loki stabbed her, even though Loki says, well, I did stab her, but that wasn't me. My body did it on my own. I'm innocent. You can't tell Thor he will kill me. I'm out of chances with him.
Right.
And Steven's like, well, that's cool. We'll figure it out. So he talks to multiple people in Asgard, does some doctoring in Asgard, and the murder mystery continues.
Nice. Although it's still weird. It's interesting to see Loki and Strange still have a conversation to where Loki is constantly in fear of what Strange will do, and all he's gonna do is rat him out. Ratting him out to Thor seems to scare him the most.
Right.
I mean, I just love that both Clea and Doctor Strange bind Loki using both of their preferred binding spells.
Nice.
And then finally, we got Transformers number 19, written by Daniel Warren Johnson, art by Ludo Lullaby, and colors by Andrino Lucas. So this is the big Megatron origin on why Megatron's a pistol this time. He pretty much, a Quintesson captures him and forces him to a repeated trial of life and death where Megatron loses over and over and over again to the point, and we are shown he was originally a tank before he's a little pistol that looks like a tank. And then we are seeing why he's given that gun form and the gun form's ability to do what it does. But this is one of those rare, very, very rare times where you see full Rageaholic Megatron become just empty and broken by the end of it, which is not something you see with him a lot of the time.
They almost make you want to feel sorry for him in this issue. Did we just? I mean, we just try to humanize Megatron.
A little more crazy than what he usually is.
They try to humanize him, which I thought was interesting, but almost justified a little bit. I'm like, nah, no, you're still a Decepticon, sir. But well done on the writing.
I don't know. If you read the IDW, they just do a good reason for justifying and humanizing the Decepticons. So they are not above humanizing. It just depends which one we're talking about. Even Megatron can find redemption.
I don't know. Starscream is still a tank, so it's still half a tank.
This is true. But it does show why Megatron is a pistol in this, which I find very, very entertaining what they did, because we are shown he was originally a tank.
Yeah. That is true.
So, good book.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all that we got. We got through all of them pretty quickly.
Nice. Well, thank you for that, sir. And as we do wrap this up, we usually start off with letting everybody know what we're doing. So I usually start with the man, the myth, the legend, the man who's always working harder than James Brown on a good day, Tafari. Want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
Yeah. 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie video is up. Working on a part 2 of that, but waiting on some parts I need from another person who's helping me with that project. So that will hopefully get here sometime soon. Blurred's Eye, we have clips up all from this week. We have covered Daredevil episode 8, the Minecraft movie, our own stuff about the Goofy movie trailer. We did react to the new Superman footage, which is actually doing very well. Tales of the Underworld, Megan 2.0, talked a little bit about CinemaCon. I got to see an early screening of that new movie, The Amateur, with Rami Malek and Lawrence Fishburne. Actually, really good. A lot of surprise, not cameos, but a lot of people I did not expect to see in that film. If you've been watching a lot of like political espionage shows like Daredevil or Paradise is another one. A lot of few actors from those shows who pop up for a little bit. It's in no way a comedy, but it's Lawrence Fishburne. He's going to give you a few quick ones that are actually pretty good. If you ever played like Hitman or Watch Dogs, that's kind of how they handle the killings of this film, which is actually pretty cool. So it's worth a watch if you need something adult to watch this weekend. That's not the Minecraft movie, which I have to go see tomorrow. Lord
it was funny.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna go for 2 hours and turn my brain off. I told my sister we could go. Sinners, early screening of that is actually on Monday, so my parents are actually tagging along for that one because they want the free ride too.
Nice.
All over the place. Blurred Station officially has a channel now. I am, until they kick me out, I'm in on the Blurred Con channel, so you'll be seeing like weekly watch parties over there. Old stuff people just forgot to hit upload on, so stay tuned to that. Stream schedule for right now. It is, let's see, stream schedule for right now is going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday and Friday will be south of midnight. Wednesdays will be The Walking Dead, the final season. I am 2 episodes in. We have 2 more to go. We'll hopefully be walk and talk streams because it's, I don't know, the walking pad is my family's new toy lately, and I don't want to burn out another one. I am going to try to do a makeup stream because I tried to do the Hulk back in January, and that one went absolutely terrible. Also, I want to do another one for Def Jam just because we just had the anniversary of DMX's passing. So,
that's great.
Yeah, on the 9th. So I'm going to try to work those 2 in there somewhere. I want to try to work on this Zelda movie pitch video, couple other things I'm trying to write out right now. So stay tuned. A lot of stuff coming. Oh yeah, because apparently I can talk about it now. Iano is out. The first 3 episodes are apparently on Max already. So
nice.
Need to go film or talk about our review for that. So now, I think is anything else. Oh yeah, possible unboxings this week because I think my Sonic 3 Steelbooks finally get here. So big stuff, short stuff coming. Stay tuned.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Joe, want to let people know what you're up to, sir?
I'm trying to organize it in my mind. Give me a moment.
Oh, no, you're good. Just over here, Zuri. Zuri is just occupying me right now, trying to say dad multiple times, but go ahead.
So tomorrow I got the Cherry Blossom Festival. I am kind of streaming Monster Hunter every so often. I got to stream Marvel Rivals because of Emma's being out. Next week I got Board Game Day, WrestleMania, and MTAC. At some point I got to stream Metal Bringer because I want to start putting that back up. But everything else just requires either me sleeping or cooking for myself. So life be lifing.
Ain't that the truth? Go ahead.
Yeah. Plus, I got to start up the Mech Warrior thing. We go through all of Clans because we are a couple of weeks out from the new DLC of Mech Warrior Clans Ghost Bear. So be on the lookout for that. Cody's got the right idea. I feel like there's one more game that's supposed to come out.
The Gundam game that I put in the chat. Or
I'm about to say Gundam Breaker 4 comes out, doesn't it?
No, Gundam Breaker 4 has been out. It's already got like 4 DLCs out right now. Yeah, at some point I got to grab that. I wish that was a digital copy as opposed to physical because digital's still not on sale. And I got to attach my my whatchamacallit, Amazon account to this site in order for me to get it. And God help me if I can remember what my Amazon password is. So yeah, like just a lot of stuff and limited time to do it in, which is yet again another thing we call life. But I'm also about to be everywhere and nowhere at once because, like I said, we got Middle Tennessee Anime Convention next week. Also, National Board Game Days next week. Also, WrestleMania is next week. And tomorrow I got the National Cherry Blossom Festival. So, plus streaming because I'm getting to where I want to be a Monster Hunter. Like right now, after Title Update 1, I don't know where I would go after that. Maybe I can finally go back to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Who knows? Or just play more mech games for the channel. But like, so much is happening and so much at once. So yeah, life be life, and I'm around.
All right. Well, before I do get to myself, guys, I do want to do shameless plugging, as we usually do here on the show. I do want to shout out blurrstation.com. As many times we keep saying this, guys, this is the table that we keep saying where we want to send our viewership, our content, and most importantly, our dollars to, because again, because of our viewership, we built stations like Tubi. But Tubi is owned by the same guy that owns Fox, and Tubi is now well worth over $100 million. We can do the same thing for ourselves, and Blur Station is definitely the table we can do it at. Simply go to blurrstation.com, so the join now button, so the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership, and from there, guys, you can select any member there. It is $10.99 a month to stream Blur Station. Blur Station can be streamed on all smart devices. So definitely, guys, get on board because we keep saying we want our own table, and there it is right in front of us. Also, check out alwayspressrecord.com or APR TV on the app. Why? Because the shows like Get Bit show there, which can be seen on the Roku or Amazon Fire TV. But definitely check them out on the APR TV app. Again, another vehicle to where our content, our viewership can go right back to us. So definitely check them out there. As far as yours truly, of course, I'm life be lifing because I've always got my children with me who I love dearly. Definitely check us out, the Give It Podcast, on all socials. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram. At the same time, guys, like, share, subscribe. We cannot do any of this without you, without letting people know that this is what we're doing, what we're trying to put out there. And like I said, always trying to put out good vibes, things of that nature. Be the distraction, because in this world right now, we could certainly use that. Of course, myself, Black_Spartan615, you can definitely follow me there. Just don't be weird. I don't like to ban people because, again, I know some folks just want to talk, but some folks are a little bit too eager. That also being said, as we're wrapping this up, guys, again, let's resist the urge to doom scroll. Please, oh please. I know right now things are not looking up. Please resist the urge to doom scroll. Do something that makes you happy. Do something that brings you peace. At the same time, check on your people. A call, a text, or even just to pull up and say, hey, man, just want to see how you're doing, can mean the world to somebody. At the same time, if you have the ability to make somebody smile, whether it's for a day or a lifetime, please do so. The world could use more of that. The rules still apply. Of course, check out Tafari TV for his rules on cons. I just usually give 3 simple rules. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. Number 2, hygiene is important. Very much so. Please, clean clothes. And especially right now, we have the measles coming back in states. Guys, hygiene, clean clothes, especially if you're going out, because again, we all want to enjoy ourselves, but nobody wants to get sick because of somebody's ignorance. And the final rule that I have for myself, that I have for everybody else, guys, in a world that is cold, that is cruel, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But hopefully, guys, we'll be back here next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel with news of the week. Pretty much go from there. But fellas, any last words we call tonight?
Oh yeah, we can talk more about it next week. But congrats to Corey Kenshin, because Monsters We Make, I know, broke a sales record. So good for him.
Yes, definitely congratulations to Corey Kenshin. I feel so bad not mentioning that on the breakout sales of his manga. Definitely check that out when you get a chance. Apologies, we will bring that up the next podcast. Joe, anything else?
I'm starting to fall asleep, so no.
With that being said, guys, I've been Will. He's been Tafari. He's been Joe. This has been the Give It Podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Mind your peace. And above all else, don't sweat the small stuff. We'll get through it. Have a good night, guys. Peace.